Sometimes you just got to look at your portfolio and think, well, that sucks, but I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to continue going because that's how I feel this morning. Bitcoin's price back down to 67,500. But you know what? I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling a little bit like sick, bored, whatever you want to call it of this market. However, I'm going to show up every single day during this bear market because I believe that is the number one way I can almost guarantee I will make it out of this at least alive, if not with significant profits, because that is my goal. I've done it 2 times before. I believe this is going to be the 3rd time, and I want to bring every single one of you on that journey with me, whether you are new, this is your first bear market, or it's your 2nd, 3rd, 4th bear market, whatever it is, we're going to make it out alive by showing up every day. So in this market environment, it can be tiresome, it can be painful, but if you show up every day, I can make it easier for you. I can tell you everything that's going on in the last 24 hours just by checking in on these videos. So do me a favor, guys, hit that subscribe button. So we see right now, Bitcoin 67,460 right now. Bitcoin has just dipped below the previous all-time high. This is looking to me like the start of another potential bear flag. I don't want to fear monger. I don't want to do any of that. But right now, obviously, it's way too early to tell, but we have been discussing this, this sort of bear flag. Now, the key to bear flags, guys, is you can actually make profit in the short-term chopping, right? So if we were, for example, to go back down to here, all of the profits that I've taken from the trade that I've been sharing with you guys over here, I can then use to rebuy down here, right? And then I can take profits again up here. I can rebuy down here. I can take profits up here. And of course, it's not that simple. The market doesn't move in perfect formation like that. But you can see here, this is kind of how it moves. You knew from maybe the 2nd touch point, okay, this is our bear flag. So the next time we go down to the support that had already had 2 touches, okay, I can start to buy. And then the next time, I can sell. And that was one clean, nice trade that would have played out, even though just after it, we fell off a cliff. So that's the kind of thing you can do here using just basic charting here. And of course, I like to share with you guys what I'm thinking in this market. So with that said, if we take a look at the news that is happening today, the business cycle and RSI are both signaling a big reversal for an incoming move for Bitcoin. Hasn't been this oversold since the old Rona-Ronason crash, and everything is aligning. Do not be sidelined, according to Gordon here. Now, of course, if you choose to be sidelined, that's fine, but you need to understand that if we do rip to the upside, you're not going to start chasing that, adding extra leverage, trading on emotion. Don't be that guy. It's perfectly fine to be sitting on the sidelines waiting for a confirmation. When that confirmation for you comes, whatever that might be, then you actually deploy your capital, as long as that capital is not being deployed on emotion. That's the most important thing, okay? But the signal, the data, it's telling us, right, that we are maybe not at the bottom of the bear market, but we are getting closer. A 50% move or correction for Bitcoin is getting to the territory where we might start to consider that the lows are almost in. Now, on time frame, of course, our bear markets for Bitcoin, which is more so a crypto winter than a classic bear market, because a bear market in the S&P 500 would just be a 20% pullback, and that happens like once a week for Bitcoin. So when it comes to Bitcoin, we got 365, basically exactly a year of downward momentum. And right now we're only about, what are we? We're about 128 days. So maybe only a third into this bull market. So a lot of people have been asking me what I'm doing in this market right now, how I'm behaving. Is it time right now to be buying? Should I be waiting for more of a dip? Yada, yada, yada. And what I was explaining to a friend this morning was simple. The way that we carry on in this market environment, right? The way we carry on is we choose assets we believe in, and then no matter how bad it gets, I will continue to DCA. So on a Monday, I wasn't before, but I am now adding Bitcoin into my DCA. So we had the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, all world. I've been telling you guys just the other day, I started buying Amazon individual stock as well. And now I can add Bitcoin at these prices for a DCA. And that's the plan, right? Because I don't care if Bitcoin, if we're only a third of the way into the year of the bear market, who cares? If we go down to $37,000, who cares? This is what I want you guys to realize, right? A lot of people will say, oh, Conor, you're an idiot, you're delusional, yada, yada, yada. We're clearly in a bear market. We're clearly going lower. Great, that's fine. But we don't know that for sure. So how do I hedge not knowing for sure where we'll go? dollar cost average? How do I hedge even heavier into that? When there's really mass panic in the market, right, like we had here, I will still open long trades to try and capture some of these movements so I can generate cash flow. Guess what that cash flow is used for? To buy the dip. That dip buying is what's made me significant money over time, and I'm going to continue to do that. Now, Carl Dupes here says a shutdown risk is knocking on the door again. Odds are ticking up slowly. Headlines are getting recycled. Bear divs are on major indices. Is this just background noise, or is it something we should pay attention to? Let me know in the comment section, but the whole world is going through a little bit of turmoil here. Even France's unemployment rate rose to 7.9%, the highest in 4 years. But all the while, BlackRock's ETFs continue to buy Bitcoin over $160 million just yesterday, even though Bitcoin is currently falling. Now, of course, that's because the buys and the sells are delayed. We see normally the biggest sells from BlackRock near the bottom. We see the biggest buys near the top because retail are using, in my opinion, these ETFs to do what they've always done, which is buy using emotion. That's not what we want to do. But in breaking news today, guys, I wanted to discuss Sam Bankman-Fried. He says FTX was never bankrupt and claims lawyers took over the company just 4 hours later. They filed a bogus bankruptcy so they could pilfer it for money, basically using FTX's collapse to make money. And guys, this is probably the most important part of this video. One of the most important things is when I'm talking about not trading with emotion, that's not falling prey to FOMO, fear of missing out, pain, all of this. Don't let it, because you need to understand certain things that happen in this market that are significantly worse than literally anything you and I will ever go through. So the next time you feel bad for missing something that moved, imagine being SPF. Not only is he locked up right now for, in my opinion, most likely doing what a lot of banks, large institutions, whales do every day, right? These banks get caught doing things like this all the time and nothing ever happens. Just look into it. But apart from that, he put 500 million into Anthropic, which would now be worth 70 billion. He held 60 million in Solana at $8, which is now 2.1 billion at the top. Put 100 million into Miston Labs, which would now be worth 800 million. Invested into Robinhood and held 7.5% stake, which would now be worth 10 billion. Instead, everything was seized before they went up and missed out on $80 billion worth of profit. And according to him, it's a lot more than 80 billion. In fact, he could have paid back everything that he did with that money. A lot of people say and think that he was taken out for what he was doing. And a lot of people say and think, speculation, of course, that what he was doing is just what most banks do, what big institutions do all the time. And if he wasn't taken out at the time by whoever it was, whatever character, institution, whatever, if he wasn't taken out, right, he would have been on all of that profit and could have made all of this actually just have never happened, right? Because his plan worked. He just got taken out earlier. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, or I'm not even saying that is the truth. Maybe that theory is wrong. And maybe he is just a nefarious character who got lucky. Let me know actually what you think about that in the comment section, and see you in the next one.